I can see it clearly now. Nothing gonna bring me down. I got my head held high. I'm on my way, and I'm following the signs to my happy place. I'm walking in the light of a brand new day, and I'm right where I belong in my happy place.
Good evening and welcome to the Coon Rapids City Council meeting for Tuesday, March 17th, 2026. If you could please rise and join us for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please call the roll.
Councilmember Griscoviac.
Here.
Councilmember Butler.
Here.
Councilmember Novak.
Here.
Councilmember Geisler.
Here.
Councilmember Armstrong.
Here.
Councilmember Carlson.
Here.
Mayor Cook.
Here. Thank you. Why don't we adopt this evening's agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Geisler, second by Butler. Any discussion or corrections? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And the agenda is adopted. And it moves us right to item 1, which is always exciting and always fills our room with, you just feel really safe, you know? From fire or whatever, you know, from, Chief Steiner?
All right, we're all here. Good evening, Mayor Cook and council members. It's a great honor to be here tonight to introduce our 4 newest officers to the community. These 4 officers were all hired in 2025 and have now successfully completed their demanding field training program. They spent several months not only learning the skills and knowledge required to be a police officer, but specifically being a police officer here in the city of Coon Rapids. You've heard me talk numerous times about doing things the Coon Rapids way. And that isn't just talk for us. We expect that every interaction that we have with the community members is done with our mission in mind, and that's supporting a safe community and building trust through engagement, professionalism, and compassion. We believe all 4 of these officers before you today will do just that, and I'm very proud to formally welcome them to our team and to introduce them to the community. Every one of these groups that comes through are unique in some type of way. And when I read their bios in a little bit, you'll see that they come to us with a variety of education, career, and life experience, which is now as common or perhaps more common than seeing that classic officer candidate we used to see, which was high school, college, and straight to being a police officer. And the times have certainly changed with respect to hiring in law enforcement today. To our newest officers, your non-numbered training badges have been removed, and in a few minutes, your loved ones will pin on a uniquely numbered badge. Our department doesn't recycle these badge numbers. That badge number will be yours forever. Your badge has never been worn by anybody else, and it never will, unless you allow it somehow, but I wouldn't. We ask that you always remember the values and commitments these badges represent, and that these badges are truly entrusted to you by the citizens of Coon Rapids, so please wear them proudly and with honor. With that, in order of seniority, I'll introduce our newest in blue to the community. First, to my right here, immediate right, is Corey Baresh. Corey grew up in Anoka County, primarily the Ham Lake, Blaine area, and went to Spring Lake Park High School, where he graduated in 2013. He earned a Bachelor of Arts degree from the University of Minnesota Duluth, majoring in criminology and sociology in 2017. After college, he attended the Tulsa Police Academy and served with the Tulsa Police Department in Oklahoma from 2017 to 2022. He left sounds like to Colorado to pursue a business venture for a little while and then returned to Minnesota and was hired with the Kennebec County Sheriff's Office, where he worked from 2023 to 2025. And interestingly enough, he worked for our very own Coon Rapids Parks Department for a few summers. Corey was hired as a police officer at the Coon Rapids Police Department on June 23rd, 2025, and tonight, Corey's wife, Tegan, will be pinning badge number 213 on him. To his right, we have Officer Will Poteet. He grew up in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, attended Catalyst Prep High School, and graduated in 2018. He attended the Augsburg University, where he earned a Bachelor of Arts degree in psychology. He went into his field at a children's residential treatment center for a while, but always had an interest in law enforcement, inspired by an uncle, Kevin, who served as a United States Secret Service agent. But a short time later, he decided to make a career change and pursue law enforcement, and he entered the program at Hennepin Tech and graduated in 2025. We hired him on June 23rd, 2025 as a police officer. In a short time, husband Alex will be pinning on badge 214. To his right, Officer Scott Skog. Scott went to Silverado High School in Las Vegas, Nevada, and graduated in 2008, and then moved to Coon Rapids. In 2012, Scott joined the United States Army and served for 8 years, 4 of which were in active duty status, and included a deployment to Africa as a cavalry scout. After his time there, he went to Anoka Tech, became a certified automotive technician, and worked in the automotive mechanic field for 4 years. He then went to the University of Northwestern and earned a criminal justice degree in 2025. We hired Scott as a CSO at the Coon Rapids Police Department on June 10th, 2024, and he was promoted to police officer on September 2nd, 2025. Short time, Scott's wife Carissa will be pinning on badge 215. And last but not least, Officer Max Willinga. He grew up in Wyoming, Minnesota, and attended Forest Lake High School, graduating in 2017. He went to Century College for automotive technology and also became a mechanic, where he worked from 2018 to 2024 in that industry. He went to Hennepin Tech, got an associate's degree in criminal justice, and graduated in 2025. We hired Max as a CSO here on March 4th of 2024 and promoted him to police officer also on September 2nd, 2025. In a short moment, Max's wife Maddie will be pinning on badge 216 to him. To our newest officers, I want to congratulate each of you and tell you that your police department family and I will do everything we can to help you have a long, safe, and successful career at the Coon Rapids Police Department. I will now call the officers forward to receive their badge. After they're pinned, I'll ask Mayor Cook to come down and administer the oath of police officer's oath. So first, we'll have Tegan come forward, and Corey step out.
All right, may I have you raise your right hand, and I'm gonna I'll hold it. Never let go of the microphone, I learned that a long time ago. All right. I, Corey, and it's Baresh, right?
Yes, sir.
I, Corey Baresh, do solemnly swear
I, Corey Barish, do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
and the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
and discharge faithfully
and discharge faithfully
the duties of a police officer
the duties of a police officer
for the city of Coon Rapids,
for the City of Coon Rapids,
in the county of Anoka,
in the County of Anoka,
and the state of Minnesota,
and the State of Minnesota,
to the best of my judgment and ability.
to the best of my judgment and ability.
Next, we'll have Alex step forward, and Will step forward.
William Poteet?
Poteet.
Poteet, yes, got it. All right, same thing, raise your right hand. I, William Poteet, do solemnly swear
I, William Poteet, do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
and the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
and discharge faithfully
and discharge faithfully
the duties of a police officer
the duties of a police
for
officer
the City of Coon Rapids
for the City of Coon Rapids
in the County of Anoka
in the County of Anoka
and State of Minnesota
and State of Minnesota
to the best of my judgment and ability.
to the best of my judgment and ability.
Congratulations.
Carissa, come forward. And Scott.
Oh, long, oh. I thought you were saying something after school. Missed that. All right. John, count for 3. And there we go. I, Scott Skog, do solemnly swear
I, Scott Skog, do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
and the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
of the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
and discharge faithfully
and discharge faithfully
the duties of a police officer
the duties of a police officer
for the City of Coon Rapids
for the City of Coon Rapids
in the County of Anoka
in the County of Anoka
and State of Minnesota
and State of Minnesota
to the best of my judgment and ability.
to the best of my judgment and ability.
Congratulations.
We can have Maddie come forward. Oh, she's already forward.
She disappeared. And it's Maxwell Walinga. Yep. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. All right, mic's on. Raise your right hand, please. I, Maxwell Walinga, do solemnly swear
I, Maxwell Wallinga, do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Minnesota
and the Constitution of the State of Minnesota
and discharge faithfully
and discharge faithfully
the duties of a police officer
the duties of a police officer
for the City of Coon Rapids
for the City of Coon Rapids
in the County of Anoka
in the County of Anoka
and State of Minnesota
and State of Minnesota
to the best of my judgment and ability.
to the best of my judgment and ability.
Congratulations, sir. Welcome.
I see they brought out all the guns tonight. We got Gizmo here too, huh?
Thanks again, Mayor and council members, families and community members for supporting these officers. I know it means a lot to them. I will sort of spare you the running joke about staying for the entire council meeting, and we'll just adjourn to the lobby for some congratulations and photos. Thank you again.
stick around for the rest of the meeting.
All right. Getting on with our meeting. We're looking to approve the minutes from the March 3rd meeting.
Motion to approve the minutes from the March 3rd, 2026 meeting.
Motion by Butler and a second by Armstrong. Is there any discussion or corrections? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, and that motion carries. We have 7 items on our consent agenda this evening. And the first one is to set a hearing date for miscellaneous assessments 2026-1. And we're looking to set a public hearing for April 7th, 2026. This is for the miscellaneous assessments to be certified to Winoka County for collection with the 2027 taxes. At that April 7th hearing, the City Council may refer appellants to the Board of Adjustment and Appeals. I believe that word is we will refer them to the Board of Adjustment and Appeals. They will then give, the Board of Adjustment and Appeals will then give their recommendation for consideration by the City Council. The Board of Adjustment and Appeals is expected to conduct a hearing on May 7th and make recommendations to the City Council for their May 19th meeting, and the staff will incorporate the process in the required mailing to the property owner. So really what we're looking for by April 7th is a notice that they're going to be appealing, correct? So we're looking to adopt Resolution 26-35, miscellaneous assessment, declaring the cost to be assessed, ordering preparation of the proposed assessment roll, and ordering the public hearing for April 7th, 2026 on the proposed assessment roll. The next item on our consent agenda is to approve the final payment to Northwest Asphalt Incorporated for Project 24-1 street reconstruction. The change orders were for removal and replacement of additional hydrants and valves, additional site grading, additional subgrade excavation, additional gravel base material management, and quantity adjustments from the original bid. So we're looking to approve the change orders and final payment to Northwest Asphalt Incorporated in the amount of $54,284.59 for Project 24-1 street reconstruction. Next item on our consent agenda is to approve the agreement with the City of Fridley for additional criminal prosecution services. In the fall of 2017, the city entered into a joint powers agreement with the City of Fridley, effective January 1st, 2018, where the City of Coon Rapids provides criminal prosecution services for the City of Fridley through the City Attorney's Office. Under this agreement, the City Attorney's Office acts as the city prosecutor for Fridley and provides representation for all petty, misdemeanor, and gross misdemeanor criminal proceedings and cases, except for code enforcement, rental license, or rental license violations. The city also handles DWI forfeitures for Fridley, and the city entered into a second contract with Fridley to continue prosecution services for an additional 5 years or until December 31st, 2027. This relationship has provided benefits and efficiencies to both cities, and recently the city staff of Fridley have asked the city and the city attorney's office to provide criminal prosecution services for code enforcement or rental license violations. After reviewing the request, city staff believes that the service can be provided with limited impact on the city attorney's office, and the cities have agreed on an annual fee of $9,000. City staff believes that the yearly compensation is fair to the city and will not result in any cost to the city of Coon Rapids or its residents, nor result in decreased services to the city. The agreement is for 1 year, and the cities will review the agreement to determine if a long-term agreement would be beneficial to both cities. So with this, we'll be looking to approve the joint powers agreement for code enforcement / rental license criminal prosecution services between the City of Fridley and the City of Coon Rapids, and authorizing the mayor and city manager to execute the agreement. The next item on our consent agenda is to approve an easement agreement, to approve easement agreements with Xcel Energy for Project 18-14 Trunk Highway 610 interchange. As part of the fully funded interchange project, the staff has coordinated with several partner agencies to prepare plans and specifications for the planned improvements, and to accommodate the project's preferred layout, staff negotiated several trail and utility easements with Xcel Energy and related entities to allow construction of a pedestrian underpass and trail linking to the Coon Rapids Dam Regional Park and the necessary relocation of city utilities. Temporary easements will provide access and the ability to disturb the land for the physical installation of the improvements, with the permanent easements providing full access to the areas for public use and maintenance. So we're looking to approve temporary and permanent easement agreements with United Power and Land Company and with Northern States Power, parens Xcel Energy, relating to Project 18-14, and authorize the mayor and city manager to execute such agreements. The next item on our consent agenda is to approve a partial release of a development agreement, Outlot G, Port Riverwalk. This pertains to a very small parcel of land adjacent to Park River Estates down in the Port Riverwalk development. In 2020, the HRA sold a large development site on the south side of Coon Rapids Boulevard, and this is just impacting this one small lot. We're looking to release the development agreement that was approved and recorded against the property because the overall development project was completed a few years ago and the development agreement is no longer in effect. So we're looking to approve the partial release of development agreement for Outlot G, Port Riverwalk. We have two items left on the consent agenda. To adopt Resolution 26-39 and Resolution 26-40, approving two gambling premises permits for the Coon Rapids Lions Club. The city has reviewed the lawful gambling premises permit applications from the Coon Rapids Lions Club for Esmeralda's Mexican Restaurant, 12759 Riverdale Boulevard, Suite 102, and Time and Place Restaurant, 3064 Coon Rapids Boulevard. The Coon Rapids Lions Club currently operates at two additional locations, Kendall's Chop House and Pizza Flame. City code allows for an approved gambling organization to hold a maximum of 5 premises permits. State charitable gambling law requires premises permits for gambling activities be approved or denied by the City Council. So we're looking to adopt Resolution 26-39 and Resolution 26-40, resolutions concurring with the issuance of gambling premises permits for the Coon Rapids Lions Club at Esmeralda's Mexican Restaurant, 12759 Riverdale Boulevard, Suite 102, and Time and Place Restaurant, 3064 Coon Rapids Boulevard. And the seventh and final item on our consent agenda, which is actually item 9 on this evening's agenda, is to receive the schedule of electronic payments. Minnesota state statute requires a list of transactions made by electronic funds transfer be provided to the city council at the next regular meeting after the transaction. So we've got an attached list of electronic payments processed since the last council meeting. So we're looking to receive the schedule of electronic payments from February 26th, 2026 through March 11th, 2026. And that represents our full consent agenda.
Motion to adopt the agenda?
Motion by Carlson to adopt the agenda. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Carlson, second by Butler to adopt the consent agenda. Is there any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? And the consent agenda is approved. We're up to item 10, to consider agreements for the 2026 street maintenance activities, projects 26-5 and 26-7. And Mr. Himmer, this just seems a lot less confusing this year when it's just us.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, thank you. Council, this is our first run at it alone. I see we failed to include the engineer's estimates in here, so I'll fill you in on that. All projects came in less than what we anticipated. So under the Reclamite project, we estimated 95,000. Actually, we estimated 99, it came in at 95. Crack seal was an estimate of 134, those came in at 130. And the fog seal was estimated at 74, and they came in at 51. So kind of using the unit prices from the big consortium we used to have, prices maintained to kind of where we thought they were. We're a big enough player that adding additional scope really doesn't serve a big purpose for us. So we did have pavement markings as well. Like last year, we only received one bid on that. Everyone's favorite, Sir Lines-A-Lot. However, I wasn't comfortable with the pricing that was included, so we're going to look at some other options and come back to you and rebid that here in the near future. So with this, I would recommend we award contracts for Reclamite to Corrective Asphalt Materials, seal coating to Pearson Brothers, and crack sealing to Allied Blacktop. All of these contractors have worked in the city and for us in the past and have performed well. So I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
All right, any questions of Mr. Himmer?
Mr. Mayor.
Councilmember Butler?
Mr. Himmer, can you give us an estimate of when we would get an estimate for pavement markings, like just a ballpark of when we get it later in the year?
We will be putting those out this week, and we're going to give them a 3-week turnaround because it really doesn't affect the next. So we'll be back in whatever the second meeting is in April with some recommendations on that project.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Carlson?
just a comment. Boy, that's a big difference in that crack sealing bid. $112,000 different. It's a big difference. It is nice to see us still getting competitive bids, being on our own like this.
And it allows us a whole lot more flexibility from how we bid it and the timelines by which we have to execute these. We're just going to be able to move through it quicker, less time on our end, less internal cost for the city and our staff. So I'm really comfortable with what we have here, and I'm kind of liking the new program.
It's had to save your office so many hours of work. All right,
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Geisler?
I'll make a motion that we approve the following agreements for contract services and authorize staff to execute said agreements. One, Allied Blacktop Company in the amount of $130,000 for project 26-5B, crack sealing. Number two, Pearson Brothers Incorporated in the amount of $54,900 for project 26-5C, fog sealing. And third, Corrective Asphalt Materials LLC in the amount of $94,617.60 for project 26-7, Reclamite maintenance.
Second.
Motion by Geisler and a second by Armstrong. Is there discussion on this? Or further discussion, I should ask? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, and that motion carries. Item 11. That was 10. Oh, I marked the wrong one. All right. Item 11 is to consider Resolution 26-36, reallocating the 2025 general fund budget and amending the 2025 and 26 budgets. Ms. Hanson?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, City Council. Following the close of the fiscal year 2025, staff has looked at the actual activity and compared it to our amended budget for the general fund. And doing so, we are recommending a budget amendment to do a final reallocation of appropriations so that each activity does not exceed budgeted amounts in compliance with our city code. And net adjustments equal to zero are being recommended at this time. Included in the resolution is that listing, as well as items that were identified that were either not purchased or projects had not been completed in 2025 that we're recommending be carried forward to 2026. Most of those items are capital in nature, so either equipment or just products that are still ongoing. The totals for those would be $133,965 in the general fund, and then $2,595,348 in all of the other funds. Attached to the agenda item is a unaudited statement of revenues, expenditures, and changes in fund balance for the general fund, showing favorable results compared to budget. The following item talks about transfers. in excess of our 45%. I'm happy to answer any questions.
All right. Anybody have any questions on this?
Your Honor.
Councilmember Novak?
Ms. Hanson, at the last workshop, we spoke about how monies are often carried over from one year to the next because of various excess money in one place or another. Is this what you're referring to?
Councilmember Novak, so the carry forwards would be items that we had included in the 2025 budget that either didn't get purchased or we didn't use the full amount. So we're asking to carry forward the amount that is unused into 2026 so that those items can be purchased or continued. What we're talking about at the work session related to excess fund balance above our 45% minimum. So typically we'll look at activity versus our budget, and then anything above our 45%, we will typically do transfer into a capital project fund that doesn't have a dedicated revenue source to kind of fund those as we go. So that would be, they're two different things, but that would be discussed in the next item.
Understood. Thank you.
All right. Any other questions of Ms. Hanson on this?
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Kraskowiak?
yeah, just if I could get a little bit more clarification. This is a pretty big chunk carry forward over most years. So there's $310K on behalf of the fire and police, $810K in fair market gain, but you mentioned other projects that are ongoing into 2026 that are being moved. Could you just note which projects or which reasons those larger amounts are for?
Sure, Councilmember Kraskowiak. So included in the resolution, that 2.5 million amount. So I do break it down by fund. So the larger of them would be in the revolving construction fund. There's about 1.2 million for the Ped Bridge, which is still ongoing. Capital equipment fund, we've got 285,000 for a dump truck. There's a squad in there for 70,000. Mower for 57,600. Those are kind of the larger ones. They're. I can certainly go through the list if you'd like, but they are broken down by fund in the resolution.
All right. I didn't see the second page of mine.
Okay.
I'm missing that one. Okay, thank you.
All right. Any other questions on this?
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Butler?
I move that we adopt Resolution 26-36, reallocating the 2025 general fund budget and amending the 2025 and 2026 budgets.
Second.
Motion by Butler and a second by Geisler. Is there further discussion on this? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion carries. Item 12, kind of sounds familiar again. Consider Resolution 26-37, authorizing the transfer of funds. And this really is a different item, isn't it, Ms. Hanson?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, City Council. Yes, this is a different item. So looking at our actuals above our 45, so I'll say the list includes transfers that were included in the 25 budget. And then in addition to that would be the amount, fund balance in excess of our 45% would be, I think it was 1.78 million from the general fund. So included in the list is $1 million that would go towards capital equipment fund to help pay for the fire aerial truck that was ordered. And then the rest was split between facilities construction and park improvement. There is a detailed description for each transfer in the agenda memo. So if there's specific questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
All right. Any questions of Ms. Hanson on this one?
Mr. Mayor.
Councilmember Geisler?
Ms. Hanson, just to clarify, when you're saying 45%, that's our reserve minimum requirement is what you're referring to? Is that right?
Correct, Councilmember Geisler. We have a minimum fund balance policy of 45% of next year's budgeted expenditures and transfers. So that would be our savings per se to get us between tax disbursements.
Thank you.
Your Honor.
Councilmember Novak?
I move we adopt Resolution 26-37, authorizing the transfer of funds for 2025.
Second.
Motion by Novak and a second by Armstrong. Is there further discussion on this? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion carries. Item 13 is to consider Resolution 26-3 Sub 8, accepting plans and specifications for miscellaneous trail reconstruction and authorized solicitation of bids. Mr. Hemmer.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, Council, some of you may recall we delayed on this trail last year as part of the Highway 10 project. That is primarily our main focus this year. It's between Northdale Boulevard and Main Street along the north side. It just runs parallel to the interstate there. And so it's been long overdue. We've been waiting for the MnDOT project to wrap up to get this one in process. So plans are nearing completion, and we're seeking authorization to go out for bid. Happy to answer any questions about the project.
All right. Any questions of Mr. Hammer on this?
Mr. Mayor, Mr. Mayor.
Are
Disregard.
you gonna make it?
Oh, wait till I got my voice. Here it comes. Here it comes, Mr. Mayor.
Councilmember
I
Carlson.
was choking over here, Mr. Mayor. Make a motion to adopt resolution number 26-3, sub 8, approving plans and specifications and ordering advertisement for bids for the 2026 miscellaneous trail reconstruction and improvement project.
Second.
It was a motion by Carlson and a second by Armstrong.
Sure.
Anything else you wanted to say about that
Mr.
motion?
Mayor, I actually wasn't trying to make a motion here. I was kind of crying out for help.
Well, you did well.
That's all I have to say, Mr. Mayor.
All right, discussion on this. We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion carries. Item 14 is to consider Resolution 26-38, supporting livable communities grant application. Mr. Brown.
Yes, good evening. I can provide a brief summary. This item involves a resolution of support for a Metropolitan Council Livable Communities Grant application. You might remember back in 2024, a site plan was approved and a plat for a 20-unit townhome project off of Exeon Street and Northdale Boulevard. Certainly these days, in an environment of higher construction costs, higher interest rates, it can be hard for these types of projects to get off the ground, so it has not materialized yet. We've been talking with the developer, though, since that time. They're looking to reposition the project, possibly bring in some different sources of funding to make it more viable. So they're looking to reposition it as a project that would still be a for sale townhome product, but would be affordable to households earning up to 80% of area median income. So that would involve a sale price right now just over $300,000 per unit, which is about 25% less than what a market rate townhome project might sell for. So they're seeking $600,000 for the first 8-unit phase for this project. It would be about a $3.5 million total development cost. So the deadline for that application is April 15th. They hope to find out in the summer whether or not they are awarded, and if they are awarded, that will help the project proceed.
All right. Any questions of Mr. Brown on this?
Your Honor?
Councilmember Novak?
Mr. Brown, I just want to say congratulations. I mean, the work that you guys do to find these types of grants and the monies that you're able to turn up is just shocking to me. But with that, I would like to move to approve Resolution 26-38, supporting a livable communities grant application for the Coon Creek Commons project.
Second.
Motion by Novak and a second by Butler. Is there further discussion on this? And Mr. Brown, this is, any funding that they get would be coming from the Met Council, not directly from us.
That's right. The city needs to be the applicant for this. The money comes from, if they are awarded, the money comes from the Met Council to the city, and then the city grants it back to the developer. There is no cost to the city associated with this particular program.
Okay. That taxpayers just out of the left pocket instead of the right pocket, but sure, I get it.
Money that's already been taken.
Yeah. All right, is there any other questions on this? And we have a motion and we have a second, right? All right, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion carries. Item 15 is to consider purchase agreement 9XX 93rd Avenue Northwest. Mr. Himmer.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, Council, this is the first single-family property as part of the 610 East River Road interchange. The environmental document was approved, finally, fully executed the beginning of last week. Offer letters went out the following day, as you may recall from some work session, that tight timeline, trying to be fair to property owners. And so this one turned around very quickly. They've got a replacement home. They have a closing scheduled within the next 2 to 3 weeks. And I was able to, luckily, Joan held the agenda for me to get this one on for you to consider tonight. So this is consistent with your direction on this, following uniform relocation. The offer was provided and accepted almost immediately. So this is one family who has found a new place to go, and they're moving on, and hopeful that we can get this done to get them closed here within the next few weeks. So I'm happy to answer any questions about the project or about this one in particular.
Excellent. Any questions of Mr. Himmer on this?
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Griscoviac?
we talked about this one and some others in work session. So is this purchase agreement just the purchase price, or does this include the relocation expenses that we discussed and the other things?
Councilmember Griscoviac, this is solely for the purchase of the property. Relocation is still to be determined based upon new mortgage location, closing costs. So this is just the purchase price for the property. Relocation will come at a later date.
Okay, I remember talking about those things, and this was one of them. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions of Mr. Himmer on this?
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Butler?
I move that we approve the purchase agreement for the property at 93XX 93rd Avenue Northwest, authorize the city manager and mayor to execute the agreement, and authorize staff to execute any documents necessary to close on the property.
Second.
Motion by Butler and a second by Geisler. Any further discussion on this? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion carries. And we are up to the open mic portion of the meeting. If you are here to address council for open mic provides an opportunity for the public to address the city council on subjects that are not part of the regular meeting agenda. The public is invited to express any concerns they may have which are relevant to the affairs, policies, or practices of the city of Coon Rapids. Remarks will be limited to 3 minutes. Should you wish to participate in open mic, please approach the podium and state your name and address before addressing the council. All remarks will be made from the podium and addressed to the council as a whole. Personal attacks are prohibited. Open mic is not a time for problem solving or reacting to the comments made, but for hearing the speaker for informational purposes only. Questions from council will be for clarification only, and if necessary, a staff report will be prepared for the next regular council meeting with a copy forwarded to the speaker. Is anybody here to address council for open mic this evening? Coming up to the agenda, or up to the podium. State your name and address, and you have 3 minutes.
Hello, Council. My name is Samantha Streeter, Streater. I live with my husband, Tony Nguyen, Nguyen, at 3685 124th Circle Northwest. So I am Ward 4, Precinct 1. So I'm bringing today 2 requests for the City Council. First, am asking the City Council to acknowledge and push back against recent EPA proposal to limit regulation on ethylene oxide. So in 2024, the Biden administration put forth stricter regulations regarding ETO, which is a chemical used by a local company, Steris. The chemical is used to sterilize medical equipment, but is a known carcinogen. It's been a known carcinogen since 2016. The current Trump administration has proposed removing the stricter regulations. We have in our city today a company who just settled a lawsuit in Illinois on the harmful effects of ethylene oxide. I called my brother, who's a PhD chemist from Marquette University, and I said, I'm not a chemist. Tell me about this. And he said, oh yeah, that causes cancer. It mutates the proteins in the human body. In fact, one out of the estimates are that one, in a city of 10,000 individual citizens, you'll see one extra case of cancer as a result of the ethylene oxide emissions. Currently in the Twin Cities area, there are 842,000 residents around various sites, one of them in Coon Rapids, that uses this chemical. To be frank, I'm new to the community. I've been here a year and a half. I don't know the history on this issue. But I just find it so disappointing. This seems bare minimum that our government protect us from, I don't know, known cancer causing. It's not even up for debate. The science is there. So my ask is that the city of Coon Rapids, potentially in partnership with other cities affected, push back against the loosening of regulations on the emissions of ethyl oxide. Steris, again, is the company in Coon Rapids who currently uses this chemical, and they have settled lawsuits in Illinois in regards to harm. They settled for $50,000 in 2025.
And you're saying ethyl oxide?
Yes, it's spelled ethylene, excuse me.
Ethylene, okay.
ETHYLENE, oxide.
Okay, that was what I wrote down, and then I went, oh,
Yes.
wait, it sounded like it's different. Okay.
There's some great resources online too. It's really not even, this is not a political issue. This is just pure safety. I have other issues, but I'm guessing I'm at 3 minutes. So I want to be respectful of my neighbors. So I will leave the floor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Vanessa Height. I've been here recently. I can provide my address to the clerk. Thanks for giving us the opportunity to speak tonight. I had big feelings the last couple times I was here. I still have big feelings, but I did just want to speak a little bit about data. You know, I also understand that there's going to be a statement, some acknowledgement that's going to happen tonight. I've seen on the website, so I'm happy for the acknowledgement. So me and some other community members attempted to try to look at like the economic impact of federal actions here in Coon Rapids. I think a lot of people have spoke to the humane or inhumane actions that have harmed people, but I also want to highlight the economic impact. I know myself of 6 businesses that have been impacted, and I'm one person. So I think, you know, we need to look at how to support them going forward. While the intensity of abductions has reduced, like this is gonna have long-lasting effects on people individually, families, and businesses. And I think that trust has been significantly damaged. An acknowledgement of the pain and harm happening in our communities from leadership was arriving very late, and there's a lack of trust. So moving forward, as far as how we support our businesses in this community, I want to encourage leadership action, reach out to those businesses, because inviting them to come to you with concerns is not going to happen. There is no trust there. And as residents and business owners in this area, they still deserve the support. So I'm gonna ask that you find a way, what is your plan for reaching out and engaging these people? That's the main thing I wanted to say. Yeah, and then I spent 6 hours today helping a local business pack up because they're being evicted. So that's what I spent my day doing. Lots of families and businesses have been impacted. So yes, we do need to find a way to support them. And if there are monies available in the future from other, you know, federal government, if there's harm done and we have money that comes here, we need to know what businesses and criteria for who's going to utilize that money. So we'd like to ask us to start making a plan for that kind of stuff.
Thank you.
Mayor Cook, council members and city staff, my name is Betsy Kiekefer, 12772 Swallow Street for 39 years. Well, I've spoken at this open mic on February 3rd and March 3rd about the ICE Metro Surge. Ice has caused widespread fear, trauma, anxiety for my family, my friends, my neighbors, and our community. My personal story and the ones I have shared with you about others, because these members of the community are afraid to share them publicly for you with whatever reason, and the many other testimonies shared over the last 3 meetings has not moved this council to action. So, sharing even one more horrific action taken by ICE against our community members will not change your inaction. Or maybe unless something affects or happens to you or one of your family members personally would initiate a change. I'm grateful to the 2 council members who are supportive of responding to ICE Metro Surge by providing a statement to remove ICE, and are empathetic and publicly express concern and care for all our community members. To the other members, your silence speaks volumes and basically is telling us you don't care about all of our communities, and we are basically dismissed. Oh, I read your letter from Matt Stenwall regarding ICE. It is a start. It's vague and needs more specific action to take. And there's 3 statements that especially caught my attention. Our goal is to listen respectively. Well, I've observed some of you looking at your phone, smirking, looking down at speakers, intentionally ignoring community members, and pounding the gavel, causing pens to fly off the table. Encourage local businesses to reach out to ICE. Well, this is worrisome because people and businesses are fearful to reach out and be exposed. And this is example by Victor Diaz and the 3 other people that were kidnapped from the business that does not want to be exposed. Council committed to civic process and reaffirm our oaths to uphold federal and state constitution. We are still a democracy with the rule of law in place. The constitutional rights are the fundamental liberties and protections for all individuals and supreme law of the land. The silence and inaction from this council is sending our community this message. We don't care. But our community members do care about each other and our neighbors, and we are doing actions to help with food delivery, monitoring ICE, helping with school children, rent and legal assistance, and checking on our neighbors. And if I have a minute, I'm going to end with a timely
You actually have 5 seconds, so.
Irish blessing. May your rights be protected and your resolve remain strong as you join the resistance and fight all that's wrong. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. I am Ron Ketterling. I live at 355 105th Avenue Northwest. I've been a resident of Coon Rapids for 41 years. Been a business owner here for between Fridley and here for that same length of time. And I'd like to say that I appreciate the efforts of our police and of our city council to keep this a safe city. The times that I have been fearful in my office have been, for example, during the George Floyd riots when the rioters came up and attacked the Northtown Mall. Similarly, when we had a drug incident across the street and there was a shootout, the police took care of that very rapidly. I appreciate this city. I appreciate the things that you're doing to keep us safe. I appreciate your supporting ICE and its efforts to keep us safe in that respect. And I will yield my time. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Is anybody else here to address council this evening for open mic?
Hello, City Council members and fellow Coon Rapids residents. My name is Blake Miskowicz. I reside at 2461 103rd Lane Northwest, and I've been a resident of Coon Rapids for about 7 or 8 years now. And what I would like to say is I would just like to say thank you. There's a lot of tough jobs out there, and those tough jobs require tough people, and they have to make tough decisions. And you all sitting here have that burden of being in leadership positions, and you have to make tough calls. And I just want to say thank you for what you do, and I want to thank our police department for being that thin blue line between us and the criminals that are here, and people, quite frankly, that are here to do evil things because of the sanctuary city in Minneapolis. And so the way that I like to kind of look at these things is you can't have it both ways. If you say you're a sanctuary city and you're allowing anyone and everyone to come in, well, we know what that means. We know you're inviting in trouble. And so you can't also complain at the same time for our federal law enforcement that is here to clean up the trouble. So you either have it one way or the other. And so I believe that is an overall good for our ICE agents, that they're here to protect us, and they do a very difficult job that, quite frankly, 99% of us here do not even qualify for. You couldn't pass even the physical standard. And so I just want to say thanks again, and I believe that Coon Rapids is and will be an example of what we can do as far as in a conservative sense, and to keep people safe, and to keep the criminals and sex traffickers and the drug traffickers out of the city of Coon Rapids. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, anybody else? All right.
Hi, Cassandra Johnson, 12150 Sycamore Street Northwest. This is my first time here. I apologize if I break any rules. I'm sorry, I'm gonna do my best. Thank you for the first couple speakers. I wholeheartedly agree. I love my community. I love the people in my community. I'm gonna try to take my emotion out of this. As far as statistics, the people that are here are, generally speaking, good people. And I believe that, generally speaking, the police have done a wonderful job without the help of federal agents to remove people from the streets that should not be on the loose, okay? Generally speaking, when you're looking at statistics, native-born people that were born here in this country are more likely to make crime than those that were born outside of this country. So I'm sorry, I'm gonna, the city of Coon Rapids, the police, I believe, are doing a great job on their own. We do not need help, what they call help, from outside people that are damaging the community. I was with Vanessa and a handful of other people today. People are hurting, people are scared. I went to my own church about a month ago, and I was quite upset. I lost my trust in local law enforcement because there were people wearing masks. You should not need to wear a mask as a law enforcement officer if you are doing something that you can be proud of, right? The only reason to wear a mask, that I understand, it's very bad optics, okay? I'm just gonna say that, all right? I understand it's cold, but it has ruined my trust. It's gonna take a lot for law enforcement to gain that back, because some people have damaged that. And like I said, I care about my community and the people around me. The bad people in this state, I believe, are being taken off the streets. There are other people
10 seconds.
So, that's time?
That was just saying, there was 10 seconds left, so.
Okay. If we want to get to criminals and rapists off the street, we know where to go. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, thank you. All right. Anybody else to address open mic?
First time here, I can ask questions?
Pardon?
First time here, will any questions be answered by the end?
No?
No? Okay, I'll just make a comment then. All right. Good evening, Mayor
Yeah.
Cook, City Council members, and staff. My name is Ian Lyons, last name spelled Lyons, and I live at 2725 119th Avenue Northwest. The previous U.S. Surgeon General Vivek Murthy has previously declared the issue of loneliness as a growing epidemic. This loneliness leads to things like anxiety, depression, and even suicide in some individuals, especially in our youth. After doing some research of my own, it seems that an effective way to combat this epidemic is through the improvement of what's called social infrastructure. That is parks, community centers, local events, among other things. What I'm trying to say here is loneliness isolates people, while good social infrastructure seems to bring them together. Of course, as I've taken an interest in this topic, I've been thinking about my own local community here in Coon Rapids. I have personally met several individuals that have suffered with this kind of isolation, and it is really painful. It is truly painful to see important people in my life hurt from this type of isolation. And right now, isolation is especially prevalent with our residents being scared to even leave their homes due to recent circumstances with ICE. I understand that the City of Coon Rapids is currently working on the Parks and Recreation Master Plan, which is planned to develop over the next decade or so. And I'm sure the City Council has other initiatives in the work. As a younger resident of Coon Rapids, I just want to make sure that you have these types of issues in mind. I want to make sure that we have the issue of mental health, loneliness, isolation in mind as we're working on these projects, so that way we can effectively tackle this issue and we can improve the mental health of our residents. That way we can lower the rate of loneliness, suicide, depression, and that way we can avoid mental health stigma in our community. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, anybody else to address council for an open mic?
Hello. My name is Hannah Diaz, 12616 University Avenue. I've been coming here for 3 months now, and the best we could get was just another non-statement, and that is extremely disappointing. I do thank Butler and Geisler for being as vocal as they have been during this time because the community needs it. I want to go back and quote the mayor's Facebook response to the New York Times article because this is an aspect that I haven't seen anybody address yet. You stated, "If you've not seen the article, please don't bother." And then you ended it with, "It's not a representative of good journalism." That, Mr. Mayor and councilmen, is a really major red flag to me. Nobody in a position of power who makes decisions over a collective group should ever be telling that collective group to close their eyes, cover their ears, and blindly follow what they're telling them. That's not okay. Moving past that, I have a very broad question of when we're all gonna get on the same page. And I mean that in like, we're all players in this very large game that's being run by the wealthy and by the rich. And the biggest difference between you and I is that you're doing their bidding and we're the collateral damage. And I ask that you stop co-signing systemic racism and just generally a system that's not working for the people. Children are not safe, women are not safe, people of color are not safe, and immigrants are not safe. Democracy is a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. So my other question is, who exactly are you representing and protecting? Because like I just listed, not many people are safe here. At this point, I just really want the community to hear me to keep reading, keep researching, keep forming your own opinions. And when you're ready to stop having our tax money just go into the pockets of the rich, that's going to bomb people in other countries, and let's not forget the crisis in Cuba right now as well. Maybe we can figure out a America First plan. And also, just a side note, HOAs are a scam, and tacking one onto that new development, I remember last time we were talking about that, the new development is already not affordable, so tacking on an HOA would be criminal. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else here for open mic this evening? All right, we'll close open mic.
We have one more, Mayor.
Where? Oh, I thought you were already.
No, she has.
Oh, no. Okay, all right. Sorry about that.
Deb Urquhart, 3928 123rd Avenue Northwest. Mayor and council members. A little nervous? Give me some grace. I've lived in Coon Rapids for 36 years, and for the majority of that time, I've watched the city council meetings, whether live or on a video later. I've attended some of those meetings for various reasons. It is a general joke in my family. We watch them all the time. I just want to let you know that there is support for how you handled the open mic segment of the last 4, now 5 council meetings, demanding you make a performative statement denouncing ICE. ICE is a federal entity, and I realize if I want to change the federal law enforcement, I would have to contact my federal representatives to author legislation for that change. City government is not able to help me in that endeavor. You've heard that other cities have made performative statements denouncing ICE. Let us have some perspective. There are 856 cities in Minnesota, approximately 189 to 229 in the metro area, depending on how you define that. Only 12 to 20 have issued some sort of statement. Statewide, that percentage is 1 to 2%. Within the metro area, that is 5 to 10%. Council is doing exactly what you have been elected to do. That is to perform local municipal functions, not to delve into issues of federal authority. When municipal governments step outside of what they are designed to do, such as building and maintaining roads, delivering water, trail and park upkeep, providing fire and police, etc., it inevitably goes awry. I do remember a time where the open mic segment of the meeting was so contentious and disrespectful that it was not part of the televised portion of the meeting. I know this, I've watched the meetings. Please continue to do what you do best in leading city staff to perform what they and you are here for, which is to provide the basic services I've already mentioned. On a side note, my dad taught me that when voting for any candidate for any office, be that federal, state, local, etc., that casting that vote based on one issue will always leave you disappointed. You will never agree with every decision that is made. I have not agreed with every decision this council has made over the last 36 years. But I am proud to call Coon Rapids my home. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, anybody else left for open mic this evening? All right, we'll close that portion of the meeting. We have one official item left on the agenda, and that's the city council statement on the recent open mic comments regarding federal immigration enforcement. The city council supports the following statement responding to recent open mic comments regarding federal immigration enforcement activities. The city council has heard from community members regarding the recent federal immigration enforcement activity and related impacts. Some people have attended city council meetings to share their views, and others have written emails or spoken to council members directly on these issues. We recognize people have a range of thoughts and opinions about the situation, and we have heard various perspectives on how they or people in the community have been affected. Our goal as a city council is to listen respectfully, ensure that residents can express their views peacefully, and maintain an environment where the civic process is supported. Individual council members have the right to approach issues guided by their own beliefs and principles, but as a group, we remain committed to working collaboratively with community members, local organizations, and regional partners to navigate challenges in a thoughtful and constructive way. During meetings, the council's approach has been to listen to the public, as we always have. In response, we tried to answer questions that focused on the role that our city is responsible for, related to public safety, and to address logistical questions that were asked about federal immigration actions outside of our control. We have not yet taken the opportunity to publicly affirm our collective support for our residents, businesses, and the community in general during this period. With that, the council wanted to take this time to reiterate a few of our commitments to working with all members of our community. First, public safety has always been and remains one of our highest priorities. Our police department continues to serve our community with professionalism and dedication. Officers remain committed to everyone in our community and will always respond when an individual calls 911. Secondly, we are committed to assisting our businesses whenever possible to help them thrive in our community. We understand that recent federal immigration enforcement activity has had an impact on some of our local businesses, and we encourage them to reach out to us to share their experience and to discuss how the city may be able to help. Thirdly, we are committed to supporting the civic process, fulfilling our duties as local government elected officials, and reaffirm our oaths to uphold the federal and state constitutions. Our community has always been strongest when we approach challenges with civility, patience, and a shared commitment to the well-being of our neighbors. The City Council remains focused on supporting our community, maintaining public safety, and ensuring that our city continues to be a place where people can live, work, and participate in civic life with open opportunities and respect. Sincerely, the Coon Rapids City Council. This item is for informational purposes, and that is our agenda, and we are to other business.
Mr. Mayor.
Councilmember Butler?
I just want to thank folks for coming out today. I know that there's a lot of folks who came to talk about a variety of issues, and similar to other open mics, I'm happy to stay afterwards. The one thing I did want to note, though, is we do have both an HRA and an EDA meeting after this, so that's going to take us probably 10 to 15 minutes, depending on the agenda, so don't be surprised that we have to do a little other business first. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor?
Councilmember Armstrong?
I just wanted to share a couple of stories real quick. Like a few months back, I had shared a story about getting the opportunity to work with some of the young ladies at our high school for the Rockies Pumpkin Patch, and what a great job they did. I was out this last Friday. I got the opportunity to visit Paladine Career and Technical High School over off of Foley Boulevard. Met with Principal Waite, and he gave me the opportunity to tour the school and meet some of the staff there and students. They got a great program going over there. I met a lot of students that kind of left me scratching my head, because I honestly had no idea what they were talking about with some of the career paths they were doing. So, but that being said, I wanted to give a shout out to them. They've got a great program going over there, and just wanted to again congratulate them. On a secondary note, I don't know how many of you have Friday garbage pickup, but this last Friday, we had some winds whipping up in Ward 5, and I was getting ready to go to work and noticed some garbage cans had fallen over in the neighborhood, thankfully not too far from my house. So I was going to do the neighborly thing and go stand them back up, and I noticed as I turned to come back to my house, one of the neighbor kids in my area had been walking to the school bus and stopped to pick up a couple garbage cans and also pick up a bunch of trash and recycling, et cetera, put them in the proper bins and head on down to his bus stop, where he darn near missed his bus. So I thanked him, but I just want to continue to give a shout out to the middle school, high school students we've got in our city. I see over and over and over again, we've got a good generation of kids coming up or down the pike, whichever one. So.
Excellent. Mr. Himmer, kudos to our plowing staff. I spent Sunday afternoon or evening driving through just little orphan streets and cul-de-sacs looking, and I was just amazed how things were plowed out so well. And then on Monday, I had to drive down to Ramsey County, and you could see the line between Anoka County and Ramsey County on County Road 10, where all of a sudden you went, oh, here's the county line. So I'm impressed with Coon Rapids, and I'm impressed with Anoka County on all the snow removal they did.
Your Honor.
Councilmember Novak?
No, just a corollary to that one. I'm on social media a bit, and on one of the Coon Rapids sites out there, there was an anonymous person who wasn't too happy that his street had not yet been plowed. And he posted this. A couple of people responded that it was still pretty early, and then he came back, I think it was maybe 4 minutes later, saying, oh, the plow just went by. So, well done.
That was a big event. They did a good job getting this cleared out. I'm thankful we didn't get what they got like in Zimbro though and stuff. That would have been a different storm.
Oh, and I'm sorry, let me say, we're still going to talk about 91. I've heard about that out too, so.
Sure. All right, other business to come before council?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Carlson, the second by Novak to adjourn. Don't forget, don't go anywhere. We have 2 other meetings. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. We're adjourned.